Hi class, welcome to EdVantage. I'm Dr. Fabio Correa. Today we are going to learn the prepositions por and para, which are some of the most important and yet more difficult prepositions to learn in the Spanish language. Why so difficult? Because in English there are several uses for different prepositions, whereas in Spanish we summarize only on two, por or para. So let's take a quick look at how to go over these prepositions. The prepositions por and para can be both translated in English as for. That's what becomes problematic because we have specific uses for each one of them. Por is more popular than para. It just is simply as it goes. So most of the time you're going to see por being used mostly. They are not interchangeable. They have specific uses and you have to kind of learn as you go. So the more practice that you have, the better. In English, you have certain verbs that immediately have a preposition for attached to it, prepositional verbs. There are three main verbs in Spanish that do not translate with the for: pedir, esperar, and buscar. So make sure that you do not add por in Spanish. Okay? Let's take a look. Por is one of the most important prepositions, and I'm going to go over all the uses of por, and then we end up with a very few uses of para. So the very first use of por is obviously for verbs of motion. For the following concepts: through, ella entra por la puerta; by, pasé por tu casa ayer; around, me gusta caminar por el parque; or along, caminamos por la orilla del río. Those verbs are verbs of motion. Now, por is also used for periods of time during the day when you perform an action. Por la mañana, por la tarde, por la noche. Make sure that you do not confuse this with AM or PM. Like when you say 7 p.m., you say 7 de la noche. Do not say 7 por la noche. Only use por la noche, por la tarde, or por la mañana when you perform an action. Like, yo estudio por la mañana. I study in the morning. All right. Por is also used for a specific period of time. For example, trabajé aquí por 30 años. 30 years is a specific period of time. Voy al Perú por 2 semanas. That's the duration of my time being there. Number 3, transportation. This is important because it has not only to do with transportation, but also with the way you communicate with people. This is mostly when you translate in English by. For example, por avión, por correo electrónico, por teléfono, por correo, or por mensaje de texto. Por is mostly used to give the reason why you perform an action or why something happened. So it's very important to distinguish the reason so we know when to use por. Take a look at this sentence. Lo hace por amor a su familia, out of love. So that's the reason. That's why we use por. Voy al supermercado por frutas. Fruta is the reason why I go to the supermarket. No salgo por el calor. The heat is the reason why I don't go out. That's what I use por. Gracias por el regalo. The reason I say thank you is because of the present. So notice in these sentences that all of them have to do with a reason or for what is the main purpose of that reason. Okay? Substitutions or exchanges. Let's talk about this. Ella pagó $200 por el teléfono. That's an exchange, money for the phone. Voy a cambiar dólares por euros, exchange of money. Frequency, velocity, or sometimes rates as well. Take a look at specific examples. Voy al cine 2 veces por semana. That's the frequency when I go to the movies. Pedro gana $100 por día. That's the rate of someone's pay. El límite es 25 millas por hora. That's the speed limit. So when you say by hour, by mile, etc., you need to use por. Another use of por is when you perform an action on behalf of someone or in place of someone. For example, él trabajó por su papá. El abogado habló por su cliente. In this sentence, take a quick look because el abogado habló por su cliente is on behalf of him. So when you speak on behalf of someone, you will use por. Something yet to be finished or accomplished. Take a look. Me queda un baño por limpiar. I still have something left to be done. Even though limpiar is an infinitive verb, por is used. La clase está por terminar. In this sentence, something is about to be finished or accomplished. Purpose, intention, goals, or objectives are the major differences why we use para. So here we are with the most important uses of this preposition. Para, in this case, will be followed by an infinitive verb. Take a look. When you have a purpose, you will say something like this. Es necesario estudiar para aprender. When you have a goal, voy a la universidad para ser enfermero. Notice that these are goals, purposes, or intentions, or objectives. Ahorro dinero para comprar una casa. I'm saving money to buy a house. And finally, este plato es para la ensalada. In all these sentences, you notice that para is preceding a non-conjugated verb. Why? Because they all refer to purposes, intentions, objectives, or goals. That's the major characteristic of the preposition para. Another use of para is with destination, but it has to be a specific destination. Example, salgo para la escuela temprano. La escuela is my destination. I'm going to school. El tren para Lima sale a medianoche. The destination is Lima. El perro salió corriendo para la calle. The street is the final destination of my dog. That's why he runs away. All right. Para can be preceding a period of time and date, but it is only when you talk about the date, the deadline, not at what time something happened. Take a look. La tarea es para mañana. There's a specific time when the homework is due. Compro ropa abrigada para el invierno. A specific time when I buy my clothes. Para las 5 de la tarde espero terminar. Specific time for the deadline. Common expressions. In Spanish, there are several expressions with por and several expressions with para. Let's take a quick look at which are the most common expressions in Spanish. Por ahora, por casualidad, por ejemplo, por favor, por eso, por fin, por lo general, por si acaso, por último. Para has fewer expressions, yet they are common. ¿Para qué? Para nada. Para variar, oh, no es para tanto. Para siempre. Por eso, para eso. Excuse me. These are common expressions, and you will learn as you go. Are you ready to practice? Good. I'm going to give you a sentence with two choices, por or para. You will tell me which one works best. Tengo que leer este libro for tomorrow. What would be the best answer? You guessed it right. Para mañana. Deadline. Number 2. Yo estudio to be an engineer. Is that a purpose? Is that a goal? Is that a reason? You're right. I will use para, because it is the intention or the goal I have. Voy a estar en México una semana, a week. Which preposition best works with the duration of time? You guessed it right. Por. Gracias. Thanks for the present. Which preposition best works with reasons? Very good. Por el regalo. Besides, gracias por always come together when native speakers say thank you for something. Ella corre through the park or around the park. Which preposition best works for along and around? You guessed it right. Por. I have more for you. Let's take a look. El libro is for you. Correct. Para ti. I work for Walmart. Trabajo para Walmart. I leave for my class at 8 a.m. Salgo para mi clase a las 8. Pago $100. I pay $100 for the internet service. Correct. Por, because it's an exchange. We are going to Hawaii because of the beautiful beaches that we find there. So the beach is actually the reason why we go to Hawaii. That's what the answer is. Correct. Vamos a Hawaii por las playas. I hope this video has helped you. Thanks for watching. Please click on the EdVantage logo to subscribe. Muchas gracias. Nos vemos pronto.